Dan Senor, Startup Nation, The Story of Israel's Economic Miracle. In the book A Startup Nation, The Story of Israel's Economic Miracle, by Dan Senor, the remarkable and often overlooked story of Israel's burgeoning technology and innovation scene is illuminated. Despite ongoing political tensions and conflicts, Israel has managed to transform itself into a vibrant hub of entrepreneurial spirit and high-tech startups. In this insightful summary, you'll learn about the country's unique culture of rebelliousness, informality, and assertiveness, and how its military serves as an incubator of creativity, fostering a diverse range of business leaders and technological innovators. Prepare to explore the factors that have shaped Israel's transformation into one of the world's most promising and resourceful economies.
Israel's untold story of innovation. The media typically portrays Israel through its political conflicts, but its economic and innovative achievements are often ignored. Israel is the global leader in the percentage of the economy spent on research and development, with a high density of startups, and the most venture capital invested per capita. The country's startup scene is creative, as evidenced by Better Place, a company that promotes electric cars. Israel's unmatched startup scene owes its success to a unique culture that encourages risk-taking and innovation and provides support through government policies and military service. Israeli Chutzpah, a culture of rebelliousness and anti-hierarchy mindset. The Israeli entrepreneurial success is attributable to their culture of chutzpah, informality, and anti-hierarchy ideology. Israeli military is understaffed at senior ranks, and the reserve forces curtail social hierarchy by enabling lower-level individuals to give orders to their superiors. Importantly, rabbinic debates and centuries of questioning culture in Judaism contributed to the overall anti-hierarchical mindset in Israeli society. This questioning culture produces a culture of doubt and argument, which anti-hierarchical values spill over into civilian life, and people are expected to be assertive in all settings. For instance, during PayPal's acquisition of Israeli startup Fraud Sciences, the Fraud Sciences employees challenged PayPal's methods for detecting fraud during their first meeting, making a lasting impression on Scott Thompson, then the president of PayPal. The Israeli military, an incubator for startups. In Israel, military service is mandatory, and the military is an essential part of society. The military elite units offer training for cross-disciplinary problem-solving, which is useful in business environments. The Talpiot unit molds its graduates into leaders with a combination of leadership experience and technical knowledge, and the same applies to other military units. The military provides exposure to people from different backgrounds, which helps cadets deal with international business partners. The long hours of operations and training offer a chance to make valuable business connections. As a result, many Israeli military graduates have founded some of the country's most successful companies. Israel's economic leaps. Israel's economy has experienced two significant leaps, 1948 to 1970 and 1990 to the present day. The first leap was primarily driven by the collective communities called kibbutzim, which were hyper-collective and hyper-democratic. With the aid of their innovative technologies, they scaled from agriculture to manufacturing irrigation systems, which became the global drip irrigation company, Netafim. The second leap saw the emergence of a new venture capital industry after the Israeli government introduced the Yozma initiative, which offered tax incentives for foreign venture capital investments. This sparked the interest of the U.S. venture community, leading to an eagerness to invest in Israeli startups that eventually skyrocketed Israel's IT revenues from $1.6 billion to $12.5 billion. The revamped Israeli startup scene formed a new venture capital industry, propelling Israel into its second great economic leap. Boosting Israel's economy through immigration and emigration. Israel has welcomed immigrants from over 70 nationalities, and this influx of talent has contributed to the country's economy in various ways. Russian Jewish immigrants who arrived in the 1990s with doctorates and engineering degrees became an ideal match for Israel's technology sector, leading to their success. The movement of Israelis to and from the country also helps foster its economy. By agreeing to start a research and development center in Israel, Cisco kept hold of talented employee Michael Lahr. The company has spent at least $1.2 billion purchasing and investing in Israeli companies. These examples contradict the widely discussed Israeli brain drain. Israel's geopolitical isolation, a blessing in disguise. Despite being surrounded by political adversaries, Israel has transformed its isolation into an economy built on knowledge and innovation. Living in such isolation, it was natural for Israelis to look internationally and embrace fields in technology and telecommunications. Arab trade boycotts forced Israel to export to markets further abroad, leading to Israeli companies spurning the production of large, readily manufactured goods with high shipping costs in favor of small technical components and software. Israel's geopolitical confinement positioned the country perfectly for the worldwide turn toward knowledge and innovation-based economies. Additionally, Israel turned its enduring military threat into an advantage in the high-tech economy. Military engineering graduates entered the private technology sector and helped instigate the high-tech boom. Israel's economic growth challenges. Israel's economic success is threatened by challenges like over-reliance on venture capital, heavy dependence on export markets, and low participation rate in the workforce. Israel's startup scene, which began just a little over a decade ago, seems to be flourishing. However, the country's economic success may just be a result of random events, resulting in a fluke. The book delves into the challenges the Israeli economy is likely to face to ensure its ongoing strength. One of the challenges is over-reliance on venture capital. With a dwindling supply of venture capital, many Israeli startups were left with no choice but to close down during the 2008 global financial crisis. Heavy dependence on export markets is another concern. Over half of Israel's GDP comes from exports from Europe, North America, and Asia. In times of economic crisis in these markets, there are fewer customers for Israeli startups. The most worrying challenge, however, is the low participation rate in the workforce, primarily attributed to two minority communities, Israeli Arabs and Orthodox Jewish individuals called Hardim. This low participation rate means that these groups are less likely to develop the entrepreneurial skills that come with serving in the army and to cultivate business networks that form while serving. In conclusion, the Israeli economy is at risk of losing its strength if it does not address these challenges.
In conclusion, Startup Nation uncovers the heart of Israel's technological prowess and thriving entrepreneur scene. The book highlights key factors behind the success, such as the nation's unique mentality, the role of the Israeli military in fostering innovation, and the influence of immigration on the nation's economy. Furthermore, Senor emphasizes the significance of Israel's two economic leaps and how geopolitics have fueled the development of the nation's knowledge-driven industries. However, there are challenges ahead, including Israel's dependence on venture capital and export markets, along with the low workforce participation of some minority groups. Despite these potential obstacles, Israel's innovative and resilient spirit is a cornerstone of its economic miracle, paving the way for continued growth and achievements.